everybody. Right, another week. I just want to show you, this is what I'm starting with this week. You might have seen the onions that we got, so it was time to get those into the ground. So I just did some very quick beds up. This one is, I started with the red onions. I had 2 bags of red onions, and in each bag I had 75 bulbs. So I worked out if I had an 8-meter bed by 60 centimeters, I'd be able to get them all in. And I've just done 2 in each, sorry, 3, a line of 3 all the way along with a 15 centimeter gap all the way along. They are in and ready to go. I've covered them up. Some of them are sprouting, so I was a little bit confused as to whether I should cover them up or not, but I've covered most of them up, and we'll see how we go. I've literally used the compost from the trailer, which is the horse manure, and I have quickly just mowed a really short patch here in the middle. I've got one section at the back where I will be able to mow, and one section at the front where I can mow, and so my next bed I'll do the same, so that I always have a stretch in between each bed that you can run around with the mower. That's the plan anyway. Whether that ends up being bark mulch or something else, I don't know. I think I'll probably still continue to bark mulch all of my fruit trees around the side of the circle for now. So it looks quite good. There's because they're kind of circular beds, and it's quite nice. It's different. That's the plan. So I'm going to continue on and do shallots also the same way. I have 100 shallots, and then today in Aldi I spied some white onions and golden onions, and I'm going to pop those in exactly the same way. So I'm hoping to just keep going and get it all done today. That's the plan. It's about 8 degrees here, but it feels like -1. The wind is cutting through us, but it's not raining, and so that's a plus, but it's absolutely freezing. We have a lady, she has a Facebook page. I call her Miss and Mary, but it's actually Mary's Miss and Weather. And I look at it every morning because she tells the weather for the peninsula, for the Mizen Peninsula, which I suppose Ballydehob is the gateway to the Mizen Peninsula. So I look at that every morning, and she's pretty spot on with what's going on. So we've dry but bloody cold, and she said that it would feel like -1 in the temperature today, despite it actually being 7, 8. So there we are. So that's, I'm going to keep going with that, and I'm going to pop you back on time lapse, and we'll see how we get on. Just one very quick thing there. I actually put some bulbs in. They were daffodil bulbs that I put round some of my apple trees at the top there, which are sort of the nearest to the caravan. Something dug them all out and took the bulbs away. Either took them or ate them, I don't know what they did. So I am a little bit wary about these bulbs. So if I get up tomorrow morning and something has dug all of these out, I think I will cry. But anyway, gotta be positive. So yeah, we'll keep going and see how we get on. Yeah, that's my golden onions in. It's only a small bed. There was 50 of them, I think. So I have just one lot left, and that's the white onions. So I think I'm going to put them up high again. I quite like to have the beds sort of irregular form, as in lengths. So rather than having all the same, it's nice to have different things in. This bed I didn't use all of this bed, so just marked the end of it. Something could go in here, maybe a herb or something else. And you may have noticed that I was using something like this, a little stick, which I knew was 15 centimeters, and it just kept me in a line. And I probably could have done it without it, and eyeballed it, but it just meant that everything was equal and kept me going in the right direction. So, white onions. Okay, I'm not sure if I got that in or not, that the white onion planting seems to perhaps have not been recording, but these are all white onions. So I've got one last bed to do, and I'm just going to make that now. It is, what time is it? 5:15. So I'll just finish, and the last one to go in is garlic. So I'm going to just put you down here on my nice pot, and we'll finish off with the garlic. So the garlic is going to come out of the freezer. The bed is made, so as you saw outside when we were doing it, Rob put these in, I'd like to say a week ago, but it's more like a month ago. We sort of forgot about them. And the idea with this is that you are simulating a frost so that they're ready the minute they come out to sprout. So when you're taking them apart, which is what I'm doing here in this bowl, I was reading that this plate at the bottom is where you can see where the roots are going to come from. So it's kind of important that each one maintains a tiny bit of that. Like this one has a tiny bit. Most of them do. You know, when you go and chop garlic for your dinner, you end up with this kind of hard part at the bottom. It's really important that they all have a bit of that. Now, I mean, there's the odd one that doesn't, but we'll see how we get on. I seem to have about 20 cloves per bulb. So I've got about 60 by 120. We'll just keep going, and see, it doesn't really always come off, but I'm taking it that this is okay. Anyway, anybody who's done this before can let me know how this went for them. I'm going to leave that on, that one, because if I take it off and it's a really big one, so we'll leave that alone. They're okay. And then I've got a few more here, so we'll just put them in too. Oh, doesn't want to go in the ground at all. You're going to have a lot of garlic. But then what's a lot of garlic when you've just planted about 700 bulbs of onions yesterday? We've got a really good idea actually to set up an honesty box at the top of our driveway, and so we are planning to maybe not on a big scale, just maybe whatever we have that we don't use, we'll go in that. And my next door neighbour is pretty good at creating lots of things. She's very creative in the kitchen, so she's gonna put some stuff too. But yeah, that's it. So we're gonna head outside in a second and put these into the bed that I created yesterday. In a minute I'll show you that. See you later. So yeah, so the garlic is in. We'll see now how well that does. They weren't bought from the shop, they just came, sorry, they were bought from the shop, but they just came from ones that you buy in the supermarket to eat, and then we froze them and popped them into the ground. So hopefully, I've just put this stick here because this is where I got to, but I have a little bit of space here for something else to go in at the end, and that is, we're just left with all the garlic skins scattered. I tried to keep on as much as I could. I feel maybe they still need a little bit of protection at the moment. And yeah, so I'm just going to grab my tractor lawnmower now and just tidy up the last bit from the trailer. There's still just a small little bit of soil left there, or compost left there, and that I could do with getting out so that we can go again and get another load. Hello everybody. back at the Polytunnel, and I have been here all day, and I have done 2 doors. Above the 2 doors go these 2 windows, just like so. I guess if you don't want to have all the air out, you can just open a window instead of having the doors open. I put the hinges on, so it's just a case now of attaching the hinge to the door frame, and that just comes with these little plates here. 1, 2, 3, 4 down there. That bottom piece is on back to front, so to move that around. So I just want to be as ready as possible for polycarbonate tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day. Polycarbonate's going on. These straps have to go here, so I must just get the screws for those, because all of the screws that I have are too big to go in the holes here. But that's okay, that's a simple enough job. We'll get that done. It's been a real mechano job. Funnily enough, I was saying it to my neighbour how it was like doing mechano. And I remember mechano as a kid because Dad had a set of it. In fact, he collected it, and I still have it all in boxes. And my neighbour Mary, she was saying that she remembers being called a rector, and maybe this is just an American thing because of course she's American, so we were laughing at that. But yeah, it is mechano, a rector, whatever it is. It's fiddly as hell. But we're nearly there. So tomorrow, yes, big day to get the polycarbonate on. I could have put you on time lapse so you could just watch me fiddle all these little screws in, but you'd have been very bored. So I thought I'll just show you when I was finished. It's now 10 to 6 and I must go and make a dinner. So I'm going to leave it there, and we'll be out first thing in the morning, nice and early. Hopefully the sun is meant to be shining tomorrow, and it's meant to be calm. It's suddenly really calmed down. There was even still a wind this morning, which my other neighbour has said to me is called the scaravine. This is like the wind that cuts you before sort of spring actually arrives. I remember her saying it to us just as we arrived actually as well, so it's funny, the scaravine. Love these little Irish sayings. So yeah, that's where we are. Lots done, but still lots to do. So we'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It's time to put this on. The sun is shining.
Somewhere.
The time is right. Let's go. Whoa! It's alive.
Just like that. Right. One more.
Whoa. Ooh.
And you said there was no wind, Claire.
Well, it's not a lot of wind. try and get
Let me just.
2
While I'm down.
triangles for the ridge ends
What?
out of this piece.
Alright guys, this little section at the top is meant to be at the bottom, so yeah, will I change them? Okay, so I just seen would it work. Shit. Right, I'll just change them. Right guys, and gals, folks, I got this the correct way up. Reckon that's gonna fit. There's a bar I think is going to be in the way, so it should be removed. Check that. Yes. Okay. This actually is meant to be a little bit lower. So because we have them anchored in, I'm not sure I want this bar. I was just gonna leave it to see how the door functions with it, but it's in the wrong spot. Anyway. Big. Not ideal, but gets the job done. much as it's a pain in the ass, at least I was working indoors. Now, I'm very much getting drenched. And the wind is kicking my ass. Oh no! Can't hold this open. Oh, come on. Come on, stop the wind. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Ah, don't take off. Ah, stop. Come on. Yes. Yes, boys. Alright. One down the bottom to the wind. Come on. Ah! I've got nothing in my pocket. Oh, God. Oh, I can't even see what I'm doing. Alright. Oh no, come on. Oh, yes. Alright. I think I lost all my bolts. Short one. It's too dark now. Come on. Okay. Oh shit. Yes. Okay. Literally. So muddy. Can't even stand up. Just gonna have to get done. Or the wind would have just ripped right through it. Right. Let's try and lock this thing down. Okay. I'm gonna call that done, guys. Let's see what we got here. Not bad. A lot of mud. I should tidy up. I'm just going to leave this here. That's how that end looks. This is how this end looks. I'm not terribly happy with the holes under the doors, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Do you know that when you finish a project and there's a few screws left, I'm not sure there's meant to be that much. Anyway, gonna leave it and hope for the best. Catch you later. Thanks for watching and spending this time with me as my partner disappeared.
Completion of the polytunnel. I just thought I'd give a quick summary on how we went about it, why we decided to put it where we did, and how we built it. So we spent a while deciding where we were going to put this. We have a field which faces west, looking at Mount Gabriel, so we get a lot of the westerly winds, which is why we chose a polytunnel that is this thick polycarbonate and is meant to last through all sorts of storms. This particular tunnel has been put on the Aran Islands, so yeah, we felt pretty comfortable with the fact that it could withstand the winds that we get here in West Cork. So we have the field is very large. We could have put it anywhere. Initially we were going to put it further to the left hand side of the field, further away from the house, but while we've been living here over the last 11 months, we discovered that that part of the field doesn't get as much sun as we had hoped. And well, it does get sun, but it doesn't get enough winter sun. So we wanted to have sun all year round. Obviously you want to have as much sun as possible. So we've decided to position it sort of central in the field. We have a growing circle, which we created with a lawnmower. Just going around the sides, going around in a circle. and this is where we plan to put all of our beds. So we've decided to position the tunnel pretty much in the center of the circle. Further to the left hand side, I guess, we want to obviously use the rest of the space in the circle, and of course the rest of the space in the sunny sections of the field for growing beds also. So we don't want it to take up everything, but that's how we decided where we decided to put it. The tunnel is facing is angled so that one door faces south and one door faces north. This is what people suggest to do, so we followed those instructions, and that's why it's orientated the way it is. When we had decided where we were going to put the tunnel, we are on a slope, so I had always wanted the tunnel to be level, and I think now that we've done it and positioned it level, I think this was very important. So we decided to create a concrete base in which to erect the tunnel on top. So we used concrete blocks and some steel bars all the way through the top, so that we created a concrete top bar going around the edge of the tunnel. You can see that here, and the top bar, concrete bar, as it were, layer, as it were, this has got metal that runs all the way through, and then each corner we sunk rebar into each corner so that it was well connected to the ground. Then after this, we created each of the frames arch shaped. We created these on the grass. When they were ready, we put them up and we drilled those into the concrete using big concrete screws so that they would be secured to the base. From there, we then added the bars across all the way down through until we had the skeleton of the frame. Each gable, of course, has a door, and so this was just a little bit more work involved in the doors, as we discovered when we had to stay up most of last night to finish it. But they are completed now, and once we had all of that framework up, we were able to start with the polycarbonate. In order to put the polycarbonate on, we had to ensure that we had a couple of days of no wind, which is difficult here. So we waited till last Sunday and we took the polycarbonate out. First of all, we cut the gables and put those up either side, and then the rest of the polycarbonate came in 6 meter lengths, I think 6 meter by 2 meter maybe lengths, and we were able to cut a slit down the polycarbonate at the ridge and pop it over, fold it over the whole thing, so that we could do each section both sides at the same time, as it were. So we slid them down and we had 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of 6 meters, just slightly cutting the polycarbonate so that it bent at the ridge point. After this, then we were able to put the ridges on. The ridges came in 4 sections, which we screwed together and sat on top. The very end part then of this is the strapping, which holds it all together, which I will show you now. And of course it's blowing a gale. The strapping goes from attaches to the bottom anchors plates that I showed you at the feet of the tunnel, and they wrap around all the way across the ridge and down the other side to here. Here we met we had a smaller strap at the other side, and we met them together with a big bolt. We actually decided to go with bigger bolts than what was provided because we had a slight gap. We actually had been provided with these small straps on both sides, but rather than doing both sides, we decided just to tighten it on one side. And this is how it looks going down through with all of the strapping. And really that was the end, and we were up, and that's how we created the tunnel. Hello everybody. Well, we made it. It took a long time, 2 weeks I guess, but finally we have this construction up. Well, it's windproof, it's rainproof. I hope it's windproof. We had some strong winds last night. I can even hear an echo on myself here. It's great. The strong winds last night, so Rob was worried about it. He stayed up till about 8, trying to just finish off the last door, which was just being a little bit of a pain to fit. We needed to have both doors on for the night because it was very windy. I think maybe up to 40 knots, maybe more. But we just know it's this gusty wind now all the way through up until I think Thursday morning. Ms. and Mary says I think we may have one good day this week, and that's Friday, so I'm holding out for then. We're really pleased with it. It is a super strong structure. There is no way that I would install one of these again. I would probably get the manufacturers to come down and put it up for us. They did offer to do that, but we decided to take it on board to do it ourselves. Poor old dog was outside in the rain, and she started to scrape the door, which we really don't want her doing. So I had to let her in. She's good now. She's just wants me to throw the ball, which isn't going to happen right now. So now what's next? That is the big question. We've got to get this filled up, and I'm out of compost now, so I must go and pay a visit over to my lady with the compost, get this rigged up, put my shelves in the sides. There are rails along the sides that we can put shelves in on either sides, and also some really nice ideas to hang sort of basket shelves from the top for seedlings and for different things. So yeah, lots of plans, but this is it. I think the thing is, maybe there's lots of homesteading videos out there, and this is new to us. This is something that we wanted to get into in order to make it more sustainable and for us to live a life where we don't have to constantly buy things and rely on supermarkets. With a polytunnel, you should be able to grow stuff all year round, particularly salads, and well, I'm still learning, so lots of you can tell me what else I can grow in here in the winter. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and I suppose maybe if you wanted to see something in particular, or you were, you know, give us some ideas on where we go next. We're both hugely overwhelmed sometimes by the amount of responses that we get. I answer all of the comments, and some of the comments that you guys give are hugely helpful tip-wise. So thank you so much for all of that, and thank you for everybody who has commented and liked what we're doing, and it just subscribed. It means a huge amount to us, to know that people are out there watching us. As you know, we both work on the house, and we put that video out on a Saturday. This then is meant to be more about the land. You really want to be in on the camera, do you? Yeah. So this is all about the land, so it's nice to hear what people want to know, and also a lot of people out there who are way more experienced than me at doing this sort of thing, and their advice and tips is just invaluable, really. So yeah, massive thank you to everybody. Obviously we still have a huge amount of learning, and the whole thing is a learning curve. Gutting the house, to putting a roof on ourselves in the pouring rain last summer, down to you know, building a garden that we can live off, producing vegetables and hopefully animals that will better our lives. And Rooney has sort of thinks this whole thing is very, very boring. Don't you agree? Anything to say? No. Hopefully next week we'll have got a few things maybe in here and a little bit more done in regards to the gardening part of it. I suppose I wanted to say we didn't expect this to take up so much time. I hope it wasn't too boring really watching us construct this. It was a bit of a nightmare, so I suppose we wanted to put it out there, but at the same time now it's here. I can't believe it's here. That's great too. But anyway, till next week, we'll see you soon.